am so excited to be here. It has been a long 2 weeks that I haven't been able to be here with you, and I am back from Canada. We had 2 packed event weekends, and I'm so happy to be sleeping in my own bed. I do love my Canadian friends though, and I see some of you on here with me. Hello, hello. Yasmin Spencer is here. Hello, Yasmin. Hello, Barbara. Yes, it is a busy morning on YouTube. I know, and I went live at a different time so that I know a lot of you guys wanted to watch Gina. Hi Tracy. Hey Mari. Hey Jenny G. Michael is here. Marcy's here. Jen's here. Mitchell's here too. Oh my gosh, everyone's here. So excited. Yes, Karen, I am settling back in, catching back up. So many things got put on the back burner. Oh, and Libby's here too. Hi, Libby. So many things got put on the back burner last month with a very, very busy month getting ready for events and wrapping up assignments. But I'm so glad we're back here. Hey, Mindy. Mindy's in San Diego and Beth is here. Hello, Beth. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys all know each other and chat. A couple things that happened. If you missed it, I got to show you this. Okay, if you were in Crop and Create delivered card making, Vicki Donnelly makes these for people in the industry, and I feel like I have made it because look, my face is now on a Vicki Donnelly tumbler. I don't know what else to say. Mindy's here. Mindy's on my tumbler. Look. Mindy's on my tumbler. Mindy's resting on the couch because it's a crazy time. Spring is always crazy in the industry. All the new products, all the fun things. Mindy's like, I need a break. I know, she works too hard. Look at this. So Kathy, Catherine, I got Greg here, and Gina and Simon. So many of my friends that I know in real life. Jennifer and my friend Carissa. And Carissa's going live today in an hour. No, 2.5 hours. I was like, 2.5 hours. I'm all off on my time because of that. But you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to drink out of this because I just want it to stay right there. Look, I got Kathy peering over my head. Catherine giving me inspiration. I love it. It makes me so happy. Okay, I had to show you guys that. But yeah, I just came back from an in-person event in Canada. It was called Create and Inspire Markham. We are going to be doing this again next fall. I will not reveal the dates, but I will just say next fall, fall 2026, we will be doing that event again. It was amazing. I mean, some of my mentors, Gina, Kim Kesty, Jen Shirkus were there, and me, all teaching card classes. And then I had Becky Adams, I had Andrea Lake, who else? Virginia Nebel, Jess Forrester, and me all teaching paper crafting classes too. So I got to do both, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So yes, Jenny says Carissa's live at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, that's 3 p.m. my time. Hey, Virginia Folsom, you're not late. We were just talking about my last weekend at Create and Inspire Markham. And then before that, we had Crop and Create delivered card making. And I know a lot of you guys were in that. It was another amazing event. So much inspiration, so much inspiration. But today I want to talk to you guys about, yes, Jen, you have to go. You have to go. Today I want to talk to you guys about an exciting special offer and giveaway that I have with my friends at OLO Marker. Now, if you don't know my journey into alcohol markers, it is one of a little bit of frustration. I wanted to get Copics and I had no clue what to do. There were so many nibs, there were so many colors, and it was so overwhelming. And then I found that my local store carried OLO Marker. And it just felt so much more easy for me to get into OLO Marker because there were only 2 types of nibs, there weren't as many colors, the price point is really great, and there's a lot of benefits with OLO. And so I just decided to buy a few at a time, my favorite colors. I started with colors that would color some flowers, so greens, pinks, that sort of thing. And I went from there. And you guys, I just love OLO markers so much that now I have 2 OLO towers. You can see one behind me that's not filled yet. I have one right here that I'm going to be creating with today. But I mean, I just want you to know that even if you're a little bit nervous about alcohol markers, you can totally get into this, and you don't have to be great at it. I'm going to show you how I'm not great at it. We're just going to give it a go, okay? So what I want to tell you guys about is that I have a giveaway up on my Instagram feed right now. The image looks like this, and that's a card that I made actually with Gina K products, and I colored those flowers with OLO markers. And this giveaway is really amazing because you get a 24 set of markers to try out, right? So that's a great giveaway. Go to my Instagram feed, enter that giveaway. And Tracy just said they're amazing markers. That's awesome. Yeah, Tracy knows. Okay, what I just want to say is that Lori teaches for OLO. Her Instagram is Wheatfield Designs. She can go on and on about the benefits of OLO. But what I will say is that because of the flow technology with an OLO marker, it gives you 90% more usable ink than with other alcohol markers. There's another floral that I colored with OLO, and you guys, I am not an expert at all. I just try my best, and I feel like I get good results every time. It's pretty amazing. The last thing I'm going to say, they have different brush nibs. So you have a brush, and then you have, what's the other one called? It's the thicker one. But see how that ink can flow in the barrel, and you can't see that, but it's covered up with black. But because it can flow in the barrel, you get to use all of that ink, right? They also have refills, so you're not wasting the whole thing when you run out of ink. So Virginia says she doesn't have OLO markers, and I think that they're just a really great marker to try out, Virginia. Like I said, my local store carried them, and I felt like that was great for me because it allowed me to buy just a few at a time. And just to let you know, I bought 90% of my OLO markers myself from my local store. It wasn't until lately that OLO reached out to me because they saw me using their markers and said, hey, do you need any more markers? You know, let us help you. I even bought my tower from this tower that I have right here for my Christmas present. So let me just show you my tower. This was, I always buy a crafty Christmas present for myself. And this was my Christmas present to myself, right? And so I have a second one back there to fill in with the rest of the markers that I have. Hey, Catherine, nice to see you. Chisel, thank you, Amrita. Thanks, Mindy. Yes, the chisel nib is the other one. So I'm using the brush nib. I have heard from a very good source that they are coming out with a fine point nib too, which I'm really excited about that. So I'll put this on at the end of my live as well, but you can get 15% off, which is a huge discount if you want to try some of these markers. The coolest thing that you can do is get a set. You can get color sets of markers. So if you're not sure what colors, you know, would resonate with you, I would say choose your favorites and get individual markers, or just grab a set, and you can use the code Megan15. My link to the OLO Marker store is in the video description below. So shop with that link and use code Megan15. So yes, Mindy might need help. Mindy might need to help at the event next year. I'm going to go down to my down camera. I showed you guys one of my cards that I created was with Gina K Designs stamps. And I'm telling you, I will often get Gina K's kits or bundles, and they have amazing illustrations to color in with my OLOs. So for instance, her florals. Let me show you one here that I almost did this one, but these were so cute. I just had to go with them. Look at this flower medley floral. I linked this one, but it has such nice open flowers. You could do this one like a pansy. How cute is that? Nice open leaves. And this would be a great set to color. So that one's called Flower Medley. Okay. And then you're welcome, Amrita. I love a coupon code, especially when it's something like for markers. It's for markers. This is something you guys are gonna, use over and over again. And it's always amazing to be able to save on something like that. This one that I went ahead and stamped today, this came from the Sending Flowers card kit. So if you had purchased this card kit, you will have this stamp set, but you can also get it, where is it? You can also, I was like, where is my packaging for this? Here it is. But you can also get it now, the bundle by itself. So this is called Sending Flowers, and I've linked the Sending Flowers bundle below. You get all of these stamps plus the coordinating dies. Love that. Just take a look at these. They're so cute. I love this background too, this mesh background. But you have a watering can, you have a welly or a rain boot if you're American, and then you have this vase of tulips, which that one reminds me of Catherine, who's on today. So a really great set, and I just think they're so cute and perfect for happy greetings. I was just with Jen Shirkus over the weekend, and Jen is the queen of Copic marker coloring. She is so good at it. I just need some of her alcohol ink energy in my life. But Jen was telling me about how much she loves Lawn Fawn Jet Black, this ink pad. It says right there, alcohol marker friendly. And so we had a local store there at the event. So of course I was like, okay, Jen, I'm gonna be Jen-abled and I'm gonna buy this. And I love it. The other ink pad that I know Lori recommends, and Lori does work for OLO, and so I totally trust her, is Tailored Expressions Oreo. It's their black hybrid ink pad. Now I stamped with both, and this was my little experiment, and I encourage you to do the same. I stamped with both Jet Black from Lawn Fawn and Oreo from Tailored Expressions on Scrapbook and Cards Today white 80-pound cardstock, which is a very smooth, beautiful cardstock. And then I stamped on it with Nina Classic Crest Solar White. This one has a little bit more tooth to it. It's not as smooth and it's not as white. You can really see here the difference in white. So this one is more off-white, whereas SCT's is more white, which I prefer. And do you know that there were only extremely subtle differences? Meaning these are all really high quality papers and inks to use. So if you have any of these in your stash, I would say these would be great. Have a good lunch, Catherine. Virginia says, I avoid coloring with alcohol markers because I don't love how they look when I do. Maybe different markers would help. I think, Virginia, it's according to the quality of your alcohol marker. There are definitely some out there that you can get at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby that aren't as high quality as these OLO markers are going to be. And I think it's also about your technique. And it's something that you, just like everything else we do, we have to, just turning up my brightness there, we have to kind of learn by doing. And I watch Lori. There's one class on the Scrapbook and Cards Today website that Lori did for us last fall with OLO markers. I watched that class. I watched how she colored. She gave so many great tips about blending and kind of matching colors. And I think the more you watch others, the more information you get from others, and the more you practice, the better you're going to be. So let's get into it. What I'm going to grab, between the TE, Tailored Expressions Oreo, and the Jet Black, the only thing that I noticed was that the Lawn Fawn Jet Black was just a bit more black. So I liked that. I'm going to go with these three images here. The paper definitely matters, says Tracy. That is absolutely true. I would agree with that 100%. 100%, Tracy. The paper that you choose matters. It needs to be nice and smooth. I know OLO also does now sell paper on their website. So you can also use your 15% off code for that. Now, I know some of you like to go ahead and die cut your shapes out before you color. Here's why I don't, because if I mess up in my coloring, then I've wasted a step, if you know what I mean. So Nikki says Lawn Fawn Jet Black is my all-time favorite. Yes, and I did notice, I will say between the two, Tailored Expressions Oreo and Jet Black, is that this one dried so quickly. Like when I ran my finger over the Tailored Expressions, let me see if I can show you. It, right here, you can see a little smudge. So that was a few minutes later, and I just went like that and it did smudge. So you do have to let that kind of soak into the cardstock. But the Lawn Fawn dried really, really quickly. Okay, I am going to maybe try to color two. We'll see how I do. I haven't chosen colors because I just wanted to just go for it. Just go for it. That's so funny. Libby said she likes to die cut first so she doesn't mess up her cutting after she colors. That's so funny. These are beautiful stamps, Miss Whitlock. Okay, so there's lots of charts on the OLO website, but I usually put the two colors that I like to blend together on opposite sides. So you have connector rings that connect two sides. So you can connect whichever two colors you want. You just purchase a thing of connector rings and then you have two different colors end to end, which is really nice. It takes up less room, good for storage, right? So let's grab like a red violet. So I'm going to grab RV 1.1, RV 1.3. I also have, what's this one? Red, this is red 2.2 and red 2.4. And I really liked that for those tulips, but we're just gonna go for it here. And let me just express to you that I am not a coloring expert. I would be what you call a newbie colorer, newbie right here. So if you want an expert's advice, I would say go talk to Lori at OLO Marker. Watch her videos, go to her Instagram feed, check that out. I just know what I like and how I like things to look. So I'm starting with RV 1.1 and I'm doing one petal at a time, kind of going outwards from the center out, just tapping. And then I'm going to go to RV 1.3 and go in the center. Hello, Linda Warrington. I got to hang out with Linda last weekend and it was lovely. Lovely to meet Linda in person. Oh, Tracy says she keeps hers as all halves and separate, and then she uses the handles. And that is a great point, Tracy. There are handles that you can attach to your markers that make your marker, the individual marker, the full size. And so whichever way works for you, that's the way you should do it. Absolutely. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. If you want to go back over it with that lighter color to kind of pull out your darker color and almost soften those edges, you can do that too. See how that softens it? It just fades it out a little bit. How is everybody doing? I feel like I've been talking a lot. I didn't mean to, but I know I wanted to give you guys a lot of kind of information and to let you know that this was a really big thing for me to do. It takes me a long time to decide to invest in something. I guess I'm stingy with my money, if you could say that. And so for me, I remember standing in my local craft store, like the big box store, and looking at Copics and just being so overwhelmed and not knowing what to do. And it was, hard for me to, I really wanted to get into alcohol marker coloring, but I didn't know where to start. And I felt like that the OLO markers were so much more approachable, and I've seen them in use so much from Lori, and that just kind of gave me the push that I needed to try them. Okay, so there is my pink flower, and then I'm going to go to, I think, green 5.1. I think I have my things here. Yeah, okay. So one thing I like to do is if you want to test out a color, like, do I like that color? Is it gonna go together well? Then I will use part of my paper and do that. So there's my two greens on this marker, and I'll do that. And I'll just do a little test of that always on my paper. You'll see that all the time. So if I want it to be a bit greener, I can do a bit greener. For these leaves, I can do them in this green and then go to a brighter green for a different one. Thank you, Michael. The great thing about you and your husband both crafting is that you can share your supplies. I love that. That's genius. It's great. And by the way, you guys and your craft space, you're killing me right now. Because I'm coming over. I'm coming over and we're going to craft together because it looks so inviting and just warm. Just warm. If you guys don't follow Michael and Mitchell, then you should go over to Instagram. Michael, put your Instagram username there because your craft space is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to envision where the shadows would go and where that darker green would go. So see how I just touched it ever so slightly with that nib? I'm not being heavy-handed. A lot of times I use like dotting techniques. Like I'm just dotting the tiniest bit to add that little bit of shading. And look at how great that looks, right? My pink's a bit over the top, but that's okay. It's all right to be over the top sometimes. I'm gonna try to keep the colors that I used here aside so that I can link those up later and you guys can see. Now I can't wait to show you what I'm gonna put this on because it's super pretty, but I'm gonna show you in just a second. I think I'm gonna go with warmer colors. Thank you. Mitchell is M Crafty and Michael is Michael Douglas 1987. Yes, thank you, Michael. It's really hard for me to remember Instagram usernames when I'm live. Thank you. Yeah, you guys should totally do that. And I would really appreciate crafting and cocktails. Yes, please. Please, please. Now that is a beautiful orange. Now this is O 2.2. And oh, that's pretty. And that's O 2.4. And then I can just go like that. And look how pretty those blend together. Love that. Tracy says, remember when you swatch them, always to swatch them on the paper you are going to use them on. It's very, very important because they react different on different papers. Thank you, Tracy. I love that everyone is a wealth of information today. Thank you, guys. So I'm just going to touch these little flowers, and I'm only going to do 2 at a time because remember, alcohol ink dries very quickly. And so what you want to do is work in small bits at a time. You will get a better blend if you don't let that ink dry all the way before you add your darker color, right? And you guys, this is so basic coloring. I'm not doing anything crazy. And let me just tell you that a stamp like this is going to be much more forgiving for you because there's so little space for you to color than a stamp like this that's very open. So when you start out with your coloring journey, you are going to be much more comfortable coloring on something like this than you are with that, okay? It'll just be so much easier for you. Let me grab a different green now. So I did 5.3. So why don't we do a yellow green because this is a little bit brighter. So look at the difference here. So this is yellow green 2.1. Oh, Jenny G, that's a good question. Is it on YouTube? I think it needs to be. But I did say that I wanted your crafty space on the SCT YouTube channel. or blog, whichever you prefer, because I want to show it off because it's gorgeous. So OLO tutorial is Lori Craig at, this is for Kelly. Let me pop up this. Her name is Lori Craig, and she works for OLO, and her Instagram username is Wheatfield Designs. So like Wheatfield Designs all together. So check that out, Kelly. Oh, Ingrid said she was just admiring their beautiful craft space. It is gorgeous and so tidy. So tidy. I love it. Okay, so I'm just touching. Now, when you have little tiny areas, because you have a brush nib, you just want to be careful. And this is why I'm excited for the tiny nibs to come out. Literally just touch them. Oh, thanks. Tracy, it's a little stressful doing this on camera. Not something I would, oh, I just did that with a darker one. Not something that I would have ever done before, I don't think. Let's go to 2.5. Let's be brave. You're welcome, Kelly. So not something I would have ever done before, but you know what? The reason why I'm doing it is because I feel like when you're not good at something, you need to tell people. I'm not great at this, but I'm learning because I know all of you guys try to do things that you're not great at too. And so I want you to know that as much as I go live, as much as I teach, there are things that I'm still trying to learn how to do. And this is definitely one of them. Okay. So what color should I do this one, you guys? Maybe, let's put these over here. Should we do yellow to keep them all kind of that color? I have some really pretty ones. So I have these really buttery yellows, yellow 2.3, yellow 2.5. Let's see these. Mitchell says we're on opposite ends of the house in our work offices now, but we craft together in the same space. I love that. That's so cute. My husband and I work in the same office now. That he is home with me full time, working on his business. Oh, I like those two together. That's quite pretty. Okay, so this one is yellow 2.2 and 2.3. So let's do that. But we definitely need separate offices. So you guys did a good job doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna do one, maybe two. Let's do 2 petals at a time. This is just a buttery, nice buttery yellow. And then I'm gonna kind of do one of these where I come up from the middle. 2.2. I don't know what kind of plant you would call this. I'm not sure if it would be yellow, but you know what? In my little happy world, it's going to be yellow. Okay. And I think when you're doing floral groupings, it's actually good to keep to kind of like those same warmer tones, and then you can do a floral grouping with cooler tones like your purples and your blues and that sort of thing, like blue hydrangea, things like that. Okay, let's do a different green for this one too. We're going to be brave and bold. Let's do yellow green. Ooh, this is a dark one. This is yellow green 8.5. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Oh, we have 1.2 though. We have like a light one. 1.4. Oh, should we be brave and do the dark one? It's a little scary. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's olivey. Let's not do that. That one's too olivey for me. I think I'll do 1.2 and 1.4. Yes, Barbara said we all learn from each other. I like those. Those are pretty. Let's do that. There are so many manufacturers out there that have great stamps for coloring as well. Like, so I really love Gina stamps. This month I colored the stamp of the month, the clear stamp of the month from Spellbinders on a card. They're envelopes, and I colored those in with my OLOs, and they are lovely, just gorgeous. I'm going to go out from there, and then I'm going to pull out this darker green color. See how I'm just pulling that out with the lighter one so that it fades out to that lighter green. So because you don't have a huge area here, if you don't do a great job at that, then it's not going to be too big of a deal, right? So there we go. So now I'm going to show you what I prepped for this card, and then we can decide what colors we're going to use. Okay, so this is really quite fun because I love, now Jen enabled me again, Jen Shirkus. If you don't follow her, Jen Shirkus on Instagram, she's great at coloring and she is great with Lawn Fawn products. She inspired me with this Petite paper pack, and it's kind of like watercolor backgrounds from Lawn Fawn, and I didn't have to do it, but that looks like the sky. And I thought, wow, that's kind of perfect for creating a window. So I used Gina K's Master Layouts 9 to cut the window frame, and then Master Layouts 18 to make this outer frame. So I'm just creating a window, and once I adhere those together, it's going to be nice and straight, I promise. And then you have that sky outside. So then I can place my flower arrangement kind of just below the edge of the window. And my thought was I will put that on either soft stone. I've like forgotten it now. Gina's gray, her nice light gray, or I could put it on her blue sky, which is actually quite pretty. So I think that I want the bottom of my floral, like my watering can, to be some sort of blue. Nikki said, I just got a massive box from Concord and 9th in the mail. Thanks for the enabling. You're welcome, Nikki. Just wait till next week. There's so much coming, and I'm guest designing for Concord this month, so it's huge, Nikki. Just wait. Michael says, we may be taking a ride to that local store by you tomorrow. Oh my gosh. If you do, send me a message. I'll send you my number. And they do have OLO, Michael. They have cute stuff, really cute stuff. Okay, so how do you guys feel about the blue sky background with the window? And then we can do some kind of blue for our watering can. Do you guys feel good about that? Yeah, Jen said she's saving funds for next week's release. I get it. So here is Blue 03, which is really cute. Then I also have B 4.3, which is also very pretty. I think I might go with the lighter one. Hey, Winnie. I got to meet Winnie this weekend too, and it was wonderful. And I'm going to be posting Winnie's card that she gave me on my Instagram, because now I have her Instagram username. It was gorgeous. Linda said she loves the blue sky. Okay. Yeah, Beth has a daughter who lives in Chicago. The actual store, Beth, is called One Paper Place, and it is in which town? One Paper Place is in... I have two that are right just south of me, so I'm like, which one is it in? I'll think of it. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go with blue for the watering can. Now, take a look at how gently I'm coloring this. Like literally kind of dotting. I am going to do the left side first and then add a little bit of shading. So this is B.3. Then I'm going to shade with 4.3. And the reason why I'm shading is because a watering can is curved. And so the left and right sides are going to be darker on any curved object. And then you're going to have the lighter sides in the middle. So that's going to make it look more three-dimensional. Thank you, Libby. Yes, Christine is a sweetheart. So, and she will ship anywhere too. She carries a lot of Lawn Fawn. What else? She carries lots of Ranger products. She's great. Christine is fantastic. It's in Frankfurt. I just had to think of it, Beth. It's in Frankfurt, so it's just literally a couple miles south of me. And so whenever I need something quick, that is my go-to store. And I think it's really important to support your local stores, even if they're not immediately local to you, like if you can't drive to them, but say you have a local store that's 20, 30 miles away, like Michael's saying, they might go tomorrow. You can also call that store and find out if they will ship to you, because they'll typically ship things very quickly. So be sure to support your local stores, especially with, you know, the things that are going on now with tariffs and things like that. Things are going to be getting more expensive for them. So we want to make sure we support them any way we can. Okay, so just adding that little tiny bit of shading over here. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so for the edges, I think I'm going to go with a nice dark blue. Let's see what this does. Ooh, that's super dark. Let's see, that's B 4.6. It's interesting because all the colors are just a little bit different, and you just have to try things out. I could go with a blue violet, which would be really pretty. Beth, funny enough, Michael, is in my old hometown. Like, she's like near Houston. And so Beth and I used to live right down the road from each other, like literally down one highway. We could have probably gotten to each other, and we never met then. So now we're going to have to meet when Beth is up here visiting her daughter. It's funny. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this blue violet 4.5. Do I have more blue violets? I might do. Oh man. Oh, I have violet too. Let's see. I have a new box here of colors that I haven't even tried out yet. Some violets and some reds. And those are the ones that OLO sent me. But I really like this blue violet. So I think I'm going to try for this one. Plus I want kind of a darker color up here around the top of my watering can. So think of this watering can as like a painted one, not like one of those metallic boring ones that your dad used to have, right? This is like a glammed up watering can. That's cute. I like that. Okay, I am literally just putting little dots on this paper. This is one of those things where you don't want to be heavy-handed. And I will also say that one of my favorite things to do is just do what I did and stamp out a lot of different images. And then if you are, you know, hanging out with your fam, watching a movie, hanging out at night, and you just want a nice way to relax, I would say coloring is so relaxing. So relaxing. Thanks, Linda. Linda, this is not anything special. It literally is just trial and error. Trial and error, my friend. Okay, I'm going to go back with this B 4.3. I think that was the one that I used here. Yeah, that's the darker one. So I'm going to go, how am I going to do this? And that's B 4.3 and that's B 4.6. Okay, I'm going to go back with B 0.3 here. And then we're going to shade that up a little bit. Hopefully I got this. Okay, so that's B 0.3, and I'm going to go with B 4.3 to add some shading here. So where it would be hitting that pot would be shaded. Plus, if you think about the spout, it is rounded. So you want to add some shading around here. And then I'm going to go back and kind of blend that in. I'm going to try to do a little bit over here. Now, did I go outside of my lines a little bit? Yes, I did. Am I going to stress about it? No, I am not. They do carry this marker, which is called the 0. So this one is cool because it's literally just like alcohol. And if you touch the edges that you kind of went over with that, it can soften up those areas. Just let your paper dry a little bit. So don't stress about it, but just let it dry. Jenny says she colors daily and it is so relaxing and builds skill with practice. Yes, Jenny, absolutely. We actually had a roundtable discussion when we were at Create and Inspire, and I sat with a woman who was just such an expert colorer. Like, just her creations were stunning. And I asked her how long she had been coloring, because they literally looked like prints. You know, I couldn't tell that she had colored them. I thought she had printed it from an artist, right? And she said she had been coloring for 16 years. And that made me feel so much better, because I thought, I kind of beat myself up because I'm not great at it yet, but I'm going to keep trying for at least 16 more years until I get better at it, right? Yes, Jen said she started coloring more after taking Angie's class at Crop and Create. Perfect. Libby said, good idea, Libby. White gel pen is her BFF for when she goes outside the lines. Ooh, white Posca. My daughter has Poscas upstairs. Or you can use, I mean, the Signos aren't as good, but if your Signa is juicy, then yeah, that's perfect, Libby. So you can actually kind of dot it like that and hide that too. Do you guys see how I dot everything? I'm kind of obsessed with not dotting. I find that with these Signas, if you actually like color with them, they don't do as good of a job. And actually, Libby, since you're here, Pink and Maine, who Libby now works for, has amazing, like stunning stamps for coloring with your alcohol markers. Okay, I think that these cute little flowers on my flower pot need to be some kind of violet, like a pinky violet. That's kind of violet. This is V.3. So let's do that. That's kind of cute. I'm gonna just literally touch them all the way around that flower. Just lightest touch ever. I don't know what this is going to look like. You know, with coloring, I don't always have a plan. And so sometimes when I'm done coloring, I think, well, I could have done that a different color. But the beauty of this is you have the stamp and you can stamp it again and color it again. And sometimes when you're on a coloring kick, you can just color it in lots of different colors. And then, you know, you can change up your colors on your cards. You can create a set of different cards with different colors, but the same design. How fun is that? Isn't that cute? I'm literally just touching that. Touch, touch, and that goes in. So super simple. Now I think the center of this flower needs to be a nice, pretty, bright orange. I think I'll go for it. Oh yeah, that. So we're going to go with O1.3. And then I'm going to call that done. Isn't that cute? So cute. Love that. Okay, the other thing I want to show you down here, I started this one, but I really, really love these tulips, and I really don't mind seeing that delineation between the light and the dark. I think it's, you know, you can choose. It's more graphic that way if they don't blend seamlessly. And actually, one of my favorite card makers, Justin, he goes by Just a Note by Justin on Instagram. If you look at his coloring, it is amazing, and he does this kind of coloring. Be sure to check out Just a Note by Justin. He actually designs for us at Scrapbook and Cards Today. He designs for scrapbook.com. I think he creates for Pink and Maine, right, Libby? but he does some amazing coloring. And oh, I get so inspired by people who do great things. I really do. And I love telling you guys about people who inspire me. So be sure to check out Justin. I actually live right down the road from Justin, so we're going on a date night next weekend, which I'm excited about. Out to dinner with our spouses, so that's pretty cool. But look at it, just like so easy, right? Yeah, Libby said he does guest for Pink and Main. Yeah, he's so super talented. Super duper talented. Look, look, look. Isn't that pretty? And I went outside the line, and I don't even care. It's totally fine. I think I'm going to do, which green for this one? Maybe this one. Maybe yellow green. Let's do it. I think so. Yellow green, or do we do green green? Oh, there's so many greens in OLO, and I love greens. Maybe we'll do 0.4. Oh, that one's kind of pretty. Actually, that's kind of an emeraldy green. And then this is 0.1. Oh, that's really pretty. Let's do that. See how you can just try out your colors right there on your paper? And Tracy is right. Do it on the same paper that you're coloring on. Look at that. I don't even think I need to blend that. It just blended on its own. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so I hope this has shown you guys that this is just a really usable marker. It was my least scary option, and I don't know, they just bring me joy. In my opinion, I didn't think the markers for the quality that you get were too expensive either. And that was important to me because I didn't want to, you know, break the bank with buying alcohol markers. And like I said, most of them I purchased from my local store. Now, right here in this little teeny tiny area of the flower, it's kind of hard to get into. Oh, so tiny. Okay, so pretty, right? Love you. Oh, Libby said she has to tell me something after this live, so watch for a text. I love it, Libby. I love it. I was talking this weekend about how much I don't take for granted that I can text people in the industry, like Libby, like Gina, like all the people that I look up to. And if I have a question for them, I can just text them. It brings me so much joy. I'm going to do B 2.0 and 2.2 for this water. I'll probably create a different card after this with this little floral arrangement because I just think it's so cute. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have to look up inspiration for people who have colored glass because I have no clue. I have no clue how to color glass at all. And I'm sure, this is the beauty of the industry, I'm sure there's somebody who has perfected coloring glass that I can look at and get ideas for how to do that, right? Okay, so there's that one. I just wanted to do that one real quick so you could see one other one. Now, let's cut out this one. And I'm going to use my Intri-Cut so that I don't have to grab my big machine. So I'm going to just do a little trim there. And grab the coordinating die. So Tracy's saying to refill, just buy the half that you need. It's so easy. Tracy, I love that you're giving all this information. And thank you, Beth, for reminding people to hit the thumbs up. And I know that this live is a little bit of a different one because it's kind of info. It's info, and you guys are seeing me do something that I'm not an expert at, and that's okay. But I just thought it was important to say We all need practice at something. And for me, I practice with my OLO markers. So if you want to try out, and you're just joining, which if you're joining right now, thank you so much for coming and watching. If you're joining, here is, oh, that's the promo image, info discount. Use the code Megan15 and click the link in my video description to try out OLO for yourself. You can just try out one set for 15% off and, you know, give it a go. Give it a go. Oh. Yes, Ingrid said, I love that there's so much inspiration in this community. You can always learn something new. Absolutely. And I learned something from all of you, from everybody here, from the people who teach at every event that I teach at. I learn things. Thank you, Beth. That's really cute, right? And Libby, I didn't screw it up. Because after Libby said that she always die cuts first, that made me think, oh gosh, I better not mess this up on camera, because that would be really embarrassing if I finished coloring all that and then I messed it up. Okay, so I think the consensus from you guys was to use blue, right? And so here's my plan. Here's my plan with this, is that I have that beautiful Lawn Fawn watercolor sky back there. And look at this. Always die cut things out of the center, my friends, of your A2 panels, and then cover them. And that's going to be straight once I get this all going. But then my plan was to have this, you know, sat down there in the corner and then have my sentiment. It's going to be a simple card, but I think that that is beautiful. I think it's great to have something simple. Now, I could probably use a larger sentiment here, like even larger than that. I could go with the flower medley and add "You are the best friend ever." Maybe we'll do that so we can have a nice big sentiment on there. Okay, thanks, Libby. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. So look, I cut this crooked too, but you're not even gonna know because we are going to glue it to the back side of this window frame here. Now, I thought for a second about adding shading to the frame or something like that, but I want to keep it nice and clean. I'm going to keep it nice and clean. Oh yeah, I love that. Jenny says the written feed, the feed, meaning the chat, isn't too fast, so she can, oh no, don't do that one. Don't do that, don't do that. The feed isn't too fast, so she can keep up with the chat. Yes, that is true. That's because I have a lot less people watching than someone like Gina K or someone else. But 83 people right now, I appreciate you all. That is amazing, and I love that. But I do love my little community here. It's little, but you guys are awesome. You're fierce and you're lovely. And so many of you I got to meet over the weekend, last weekend, when it was fantastic. It just filled my heart so much. So be sure to check out the pictures of that on my Instagram feed when you're over there for that OLO giveaway, because you want to enter to win that. Okay, so we're going to get this on straight, my friends. And to do that, I'll probably have to hold it up. That looks pretty good. So again, used 2 different master layouts here. And I just want to make sure, and I'm going to use my grid lines here on my desk. I'm going to be sure that this line is straight with that down there. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then I can layer this on my Lawn Fawn paper. I'm just going to give that a little trim. So this is the Watercolor Wishes Petite paper pack. Comes in lots of different watercolor colors, but when I saw this one, I thought that just looks like a pretty sky. So it's kind of perfect. And then I just need to decide which way I want up and which way I want down. And I think I like that better. Okay, and I'm going to glue this onto here too. Or actually, I'm going to use my tape runner and make sure that gets really gets really on there. So I'm using my tape runner from scrapbook.com. Oh, yes. Oh, the grid lines. Yeah, I love a grid, Kim. Don't know what I would do without a grid. And I also have my Gina K T-square here. But yeah, I can just look at my grid and see if the bottom is straight. Is the middle straight too? That's why I also love grid paper on my stamping platform. So I keep the Tailored Expressions grid paper on there. And it really helps me to make sure everything is lined up. Look how pretty that is, right? It's just really clean and beautiful. Thank you, Marietta. Oh, no, I do not rank up there with Gina, but I love that you are giving me that beautiful compliment. Thank you. Oh, Mindy, work called. Blah. I'll see you later, friend. You are the best. And I really do have the best people here. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. It was such a treat to meet friends that are on my lives almost every week, like Winnie Bell, who was here earlier. I got to meet her over the weekend, and I got to take one of her cards home, which was fantastic. And I just fills my heart so much. Oh, Nikki's watching in the car. I love that I can help you wait out the time, Nikki. Almost done here. Hey, Carissa, we were talking about you at the beginning of the live. So I told everybody that you're live today because obviously when I went live a bit later, I wanted to make sure that I didn't go on your time. So Carissa's live at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. my time, which is Central. And I'll be in the car as usual, so I'll be watching you from the car. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this nice and straight on here. Try to make sure that I have my lines lined up. That looks cute. Hey, Gina. Oh my God, Gina K is on my live. Gina, we've been playing with your pretty master layouts, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? We've been coloring. So cute. So I'm creating a really simple card because I was mainly talking about just coloring and how scary it can be and how I'm trying to overcome the scariness with my coloring. So I really, really love the sentiment on the flower medley. And because I have such an open space up here, I think it's going to be great to do a nice big sentiment here. So why don't we stamp "You Are So Very Special," because that's one of those cards that you can send for anything. You can send it for a thank you. You can send it for, you know, just to let someone know you're thinking about them. So I think that's what we're going to do. I have about 40,000 pieces of Scrapbook and Cards Today's white cardstock behind me because I did a demo over the weekend and I thought I'm going to be really prepared for this demo. And I'm going to cut a lot of white paper because I was demoing turnabouts, which was really fun. But I ended up talking so much that I only probably did about 20 turnabouts backgrounds, and I cut about 60 pieces of paper. So I went a little bit overboard. Oh, yes. Anskia said, I hope I said that correctly. Thanks for showing us how you are using these. I've just discovered Gina K stamps and master layouts. It's great to see you both live last weekend. Oh, it was so great to see you too. And now I can see your face. That's fantastic. Yes, Gina K stamps and master layouts are fantastic. Fantastic. Gina has a release coming out on Tuesday, so please don't miss it, my friends. And she just sneaked that there's a new master layouts coming too. So I cannot wait for that. I have my projects planned. Can't wait to share with you what I'm creating. But of course, I'm going to be there with you on Tuesday night watching Gina. So that's what we do on Tuesday nights, right? It's very soft and pretty and very approachable, right, Mindy? Just... I love a frame design too. You can do so much with the frame, and very often I use arches. But for this one, I decided to go with that window because there was something about the flower arrangement sitting next to the window that kind of spoke to me. Okay, I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to use my mini Intri-Cut to die cut these out with the coordinating die, and then we're going to finish up this card. Now, here's the awesome thing is that there's a magnet in these bundles. Isn't that awesome? I love that. And I love these magnets. Look how pretty. So pretty. I should have taken this one out before, but I didn't know. I just felt the urge to use this sentiment. So now you're going to see how everything's packaged, and you'll get a little bit of ASMR here for my friends who like that. But look, you get the flowers and the sentiments with these. And I also love the way that Gina's sentiments cut out. So they cut out so perfectly. You get all those little pieces out from the inside of your O's and things like that. And the hardest part is finding the sentiment strip that matches. Or you can use one of your master layout sentiment strips, which we could do that too, so that it could cut out like an actual strip instead of the tight. So on here, why don't we do that? Master Layouts 18, which I used for my frame, has these lovely little strips, and I can use this one. And I love that it has the same kind of details as on the frame. Now, the tricky part is that I did not stamp it where I should have stamped it to do that. So I might have to stamp that one again, but that's okay. So think about that when you're stamping. If you want to cut it out with a strip, just make sure you leave some extra space along those edges. So I'll just stamp it really quickly again. And then this extra white cardstock will just be for layering. I'm starting to get the crafter math around me too, my friends. Lots of crafter math here. It's an inspirational day, said Mindy. Absolutely. Absolutely. It definitely evokes a feel of spring, says Mindy. Well, if you guys live in the Midwest like me and Michael, who's on, it'll be spring one second and then it'll be winter the next. So I'm not saying anything about spring because I don't want to jinx it. And here in Chicago, it's funny because we have, you know, lots of people are like in the Midwest, they don't feel the cold. And so you'll see people already in shorts and flip-flops, which I just do not understand. I think I lived in Texas too long, Beth, to do that. Because I still get cold and I still have to turn on my space heater here in my office because I'm freezing. So, okay, now that I have space on the side of this one, now I can use my Master Layouts 18 to cut out the strip. And have you guys seen that Gina is going live every Thursday with Master Layouts and like showing you so many ways to use them? Just allows you to get so much more use out of your sets, which I love. Okay. I also love that this sentiment is going to be stamped in black. So I think it's really going to stand out against that background and look really beautiful. So here we go. Taking my Intri-Cut, and I'm going to make sure that nothing moves. So that's the nice thing about this little mini machine is that you can really see where everything is. It's 90 in St. John's, Florida, says Nikki. 92 in San Antonio. Yes, you guys, I miss my Texas weather. Stop, you're making me sad. People in Texas wear shorts and flip-flops on the coldest days. I don't know. But Beth, in our neighborhood, I used to see people in parkas when it was 60 outside in Texas. So like, whereas here it's the total opposite. I'm freezing to death and they think it's a beautiful day. I don't understand. Okay. Oh, thank you, Gina. I try to stay calm. I don't always feel calm, and my watch, my friends have been on me. Oh, look, it thinks I need to start exercise. My watch tells me that I'm not calm because my heart rate gets too high. If you've ever been on a live with me when my watch has thought that I was spinning or running, then you know. Then you know. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what I'm going to do is add 1mm foam adhesive because I already have just 1mm here. And then by adding another layer of 1mm, then I'll have a total of 2mm. And if I can find my thin 1mm, everything that I unpacked from the weekend is kind of all in a different place. Here it is. Okay. So I've had to try to unpack everything and find it all over again and make sure everything's organized. And then just this morning, I was organizing all of the new products that I'm going to be, working with for next week. Like Gina has a release on Tuesday, which I'm excited about. There's a new Concord release on the 9th. I'm going to have my Spellbinders Club Kit video out on Sunday for you guys. And I'm excited about that too. So watch for that on my channel. So if you don't already subscribe, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of any new videos or lives. Oh, that's so cute. I love that, you guys. I love it. And you can change up the colors and make it totally different. I think the only thing that I would do here is to die cut UR 2 more times, and I'll probably do that off camera, 2 more times so that it stands out, because with a sentiment like that, it's quite hard for you to put foam adhesive behind it. So for me, I find it much easier to actually die cut it a couple more times, and then I can have it sit right there on my window. So you are so very special, all of you. That's how I feel about you. But just such a simple card, but grab sets that you can try out your colors, whether you use Copics, whether you try out OLO Markers, and don't forget about my discount code. I'll put that up one last time if I get the right image. There we go. You can use code Megan15, and the link is in my video description below, as is the link for all of the Gina K products that I used today. And I hope this has given you guys some inspiration that you're not always going to be great at everything right out of the box, right? I have to say I have a long way to go on my coloring until I get it to where I love it. But I'm going to keep practicing, and I'm going to keep practicing with products that I think are worth my money and the effort. And for me, that's OLO Marker. Hey, Roberta, nice to see you. It is so simple, right, Kim? It's simple, but it's very cute, right? And the main thing is that, I colored that myself. So thank you, Linda. You guys are fantastic. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me today and for spending your afternoon with me. Be sure to use this discount before it's like midnight, 11:59 p.m. Central Time on April 9th, so that you can take advantage of that. And go to my Instagram. My Instagram username is right here, @MeganAndrew, to enter to win that OLO giveaway. You can't miss it on my feed. It's bright pink. So be sure to enter that giveaway too. And on that giveaway, you'll see another Gina K card that I used where I colored those flowers in with OLO Markers. So thank you guys so much. I will be sure to post this on my feed today. And I can't wait to see you again next Friday. I'm sure I'll come up with something different for you guys then. But join me then. It should be my normal time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern time. If not, just watch my YouTube and be sure to hit that bell. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend and happy creating. Bye-bye.